Alright, let's try this again. Take 4. Hi, this is Raven, speaking from Phoenix, Arizona. Um, I'm not from Arizona. I'm from New York, but I live in Arizona now. Anyway, a lot of people aren't going to like what I have to say about this today, but when I got home from work this morning, the first thing I saw on my Google feed was an article that basically screamed, Lyft driver drags female passenger out of car. Oh boy, here we go again. Bad, bad Lyft. Bad, bad driver. It's all our fault. I read the article real quick. Basically, this situation was instigated by the fact that the driver asked her to turn off music. Okay. So I went to sleep, woke up. First thing on my feed when I woke up was a YouTube video about this from Inside Edition that provides external video coverage of the incident. So I watched it 3 times and I listened to it. And I'm glad I went back and watched it and listened again before I speak, because it kind of ironically, and what's interesting is that the Inside Edition reporter pointed this out as well, but this kind of was a karmic thing. So this girl was listening to some song in Spanish where the English translation says, "I'm gonna kick you out." So she's listening to this song, and apparently the driver asked her to turn her music on her phone off. Okay, now we don't know what happens in between that and what we are now going to see on the footage in the video on the link that I left below from Inside Edition. But what we see, and let me go back here a second. After watching this video, I don't have any sympathy for her. I have sympathy for the driver that was pushed to his breaking point and now he's screwed, because he fucked up. No doubt, the driver was in the wrong, okay? But I kind of have a sense of how this thing went. And if you look on my comment on the Inside Edition video, right underneath it, there's somebody else that thinks there's more to this story as well. Okay, so I don't have any sympathy for her because, first of all, towards the end of the video, after it was discussed, the physical happenings and the incident, she does state, he told me if I don't turn off my phone or the music, he told me if I don't turn off the music, he was going to kick me out of the car. Okay, well, so why didn't she turn off the music? Okay, she must not have turned off the music. I suspect that she probably gave him a hard time and pushed him. Or he said, okay, please get out of my car, and she refused to. Okay, and there's a later video that has some information that indicates that that might be a correct assumption on my part, but I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so you see in the video, he does yank her out of the car, but he lets go of her, and she is totally free of him, any physical contact, any continued assault of any kind, and she's free of the vehicle. Okay, but then she went back and tried to grab him, and tried to get past him to get back into the car to get her belongings. All right, I get it. She needs her wallet and her phone. Okay, I'd be freaking out too if I was separated from my wallet and my phone. Okay, but her safety's got to come first. And all he did, he yanked her out of the car and let her go. And she came back. Okay, so that's number 2 reason I don't have any sympathy for her. And number 3 is because she is a perfect example of an entitled passenger who disrespects a driver's boundaries, and then the driver ends up getting hurt in some way. Even if that means it's because the driver makes a bad decision on how they respond to the situation. Okay? The passenger started the shit in the first place. Okay, I've seen it before. I'm sure other drivers have seen it before. Okay, this guy was having a bad day and she just pushed him over the edge, and now she's, the poor victim. She's been wronged. Okay, not a single thought about her responsibility in the situation whatsoever. And as you'll see in the video, this is karma. And the reason this was karma is she was playing a song where the message in it was, I'm gonna kick you out. She's the one that chose that song to listen to, and this is what happened. This is Law of Attraction 101. Be careful what you ask for. You might get it. Okay, this is her lesson. And apparently the driver had a lesson on learning to control his temper, because he's paying the consequences. Okay, but she's, got publicity now. And, her face on the news, and she's a model, and she was just going to an audition or whatever she was doing. And, this is going to help her career. Okay, while this driver is out of a job now. But still, it really sucks that way, that the instigator is the one that comes out ahead. I just, again, I don't feel sorry for her whatsoever. Okay, now in the second video that I'm going to post, and I think it might also be from Inside Edition, but I'm not sure, or TMZ, but they interviewed her, and she was saying, I was just trying to call 911. I'm thinking, why were you calling 911? Because the driver repeatedly asked you to get out of the car, and you refused? And he possibly made a statement saying, if you do not remove yourself from my car, I will remove you, or something like that. And the driver's just trying to get her to get out of the car, and she's turning it into something else and calling 911, and I think that's what happened. So, yeah, I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for her one bit. This really sucks. And this is a perfect example of the entitled rider that does not respect drivers. And the fact that they just push it to the point where they push the driver over the edge, and then no matter what, the driver is wrong. And this is real. And this is what you got to worry about with people. Not some of the other petty bullshit, that I've heard drivers mark people down on their ratings for. This is even worse than a car seat situation or a 5-passenger situation or a third-party situation. So, yeah. I have no sympathy for her. The whole situation sucks. And, it's another example where the world sees the perspective of the poor victim, not, the spoiled princess. All right, anyway, have a good day, everybody. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. It's really cool that there are people out there that want to listen. Thanks.